God was present even before the earth and all the trees, rivers, flowers, mountains, and seas in it were created. All that existed was a ball darker than midnight. Seeing this, God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. God named the light as day and the darkness as night. Then, God thought that there should be something to separate water from water, so God created the sky. God wanted the dry land to come to life. God said, "Let the water under the sky be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear." All the water in the world came together and formed the great ocean, and the dry land rose from it. God named this dry land earth and the water sea. There was still something missing. So, God created grass, trees, flowers, and fruits. God wanted the sun, stars, and moon to be visible from the earth. So, He made the sun come out during the day, and the stars and moon to shine at night. The earth looked beautiful, with so many elements present. To add to the beauty, God created fish for the sea and birds to soar high above in the sky. Then God decided to create all kinds of animals. The green fields had animals grazing. The forests had all kinds of wild animals. The blue sky was filled with birds, and the sea was home to all sorts of creatures. With everything in place, there was still something missing. The world was ready for humankind. So God created man in His own image and made him the master of the earth and all that's upon it. So, the first man, Adam, was created. God gave Adam a home, the Garden of Eden. His home thrived with lush gardens, blooming flowers, cascading rivers, friendly animals, chirping birds, and every wonderful thing you can imagine. It was a paradise. Adam was supposed to take care of this land and live by eating the fruits from the trees. He could do anything he wanted: swim in the river, climb trees, jump over bushes, ride on horses, and eat fruits. Yes, Adam could do anything he pleased in the Garden of Eden. The only thing that he was disallowed to do was eat the fruit from a large tree at the center of the garden. Adam promised God that he would never eat the fruit and continued with his daily activities. As days passed in the beautiful garden, Adam started to get lonely. To give him company, God created a woman, and Adam named her Eve. Adam and Eve lived happily in this beautiful garden they called home. After this, God appeared and said,
"Now both of you will live together. You both can eat whatever you want from this garden, but never eat fruit from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. If any of you eat forbidden fruit from that tree, then he or she will die."
Saying this, God went away. Adam and Eve lived happily there. One day when Eve was plucking fruit from the garden, then a snake came and said to Eve,
Has God allowed you to eat all the fruits?
Yes, God has allowed us to eat all the fruits. But God forbids us to eat fruit from the tree of good and evil. If we eat the fruits of that tree, we will die.
Eve said while replying to the snake. The snake said,
No, it is not like that at all. The person who eats the fruit of that tree does not die but becomes like God. He or she will have powers like God.
While Adam didn't believe the snake, Eve did. Eve goes to the tree after hearing the snake about the tree. The fruits of that tree looked very tasty and the fragrance was also coming out of it. That forbidden fruit looked delicious. She plucked the fruit from the tree and took a bite of the juicy fruit. Looking at her reaction and listening to her convincing words, Adam, who was initially hesitant, also took a bite from the fruit. After eating that fruit, Adam and Eve began to have knowledge of good and evil. Suddenly, they realized that they were not wearing any clothes and immediately covered their body parts with leaves. They were afraid of God and tried to hide amidst the trees. When God appeared and called out to Adam, Adam said,
Lord, I heard your voice in the garden, and I was afraid, and I hid.
God said to Eve,
Whenever she gives birth to children, it will be very painful. So much pain that no one has experienced.
Adam was punished that he would now have to work hard to eat and for food. From now on, he will grow grains for himself, and he will not get anything without hard work. He also said that both of you will also die. You were made of the soil, and in the end, you will be mixed in the soil. God punished the snake too. He will live in the land from now on. There will always be differences between snakes and humans. Snakes will bite man's feet, and man will crush a snake with his feet. God then drove Adam and Eve out of the Garden of Eden. God then left, leaving a flaming sword to ensure nobody ever touches the forbidden tree again. After breaking the trust of God, not only did Adam and Eve suffer, but also lost the beautiful Garden of Eden. The story of Adam and Eve reminds us to make wise choices and consider the consequences of our actions.